Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. I hope your week got off to a good start yesterday. I hope you were able to read our passage yesterday, 2 Samuel 11, because it really sets up where the rest of this week was going. Yesterday, our reading, 2 Samuel chapter 11, shows David's sin with Bathsheba, that David saw her bathing on a roof, and David called for her, and she came, and he ends up committing adultery. He ends up killing Bathsheba's husband on the front lines of war, and they ultimately end up having a child together. But we need to know that story to see where we're going today, where our passage this morning is 2 Samuel chapter 12, verses 1 through 14. And in this passage, we're going to see Nathan come to David and recognize and call out this sin that David was in. If you remember, last week and the week before, we were in 2 Samuel 6 and 2 Samuel 7, where we saw that the Lord gave Nathan a word to speak to David, that he was going to be the anointed king, the ruler, the prince of Israel. And just in chapter 12 today also, you're going to see that God gives Nathan a word, and he tells Nathan what David has done. He tells Nathan of David's sin. And as I read this passage, there's a few things that kind of stick out to me. Nathan goes to David and he tells kind of this parable about a man and a lamb and someone comes in and he won't give him his own lamb. And you're going to get to read this today, but as I read this, I'm reminded of a couple things. That first, that we can't hide our sin from God. That God saw David in his sin. God spoke that to Nathan, and Nathan went and called David out on it. No matter what we do, even in a situation when we don't think that God can see our sin, or maybe we don't even care that God sees our sin, he does see our sin. And just as we see in this passage, he came to Nathan and tells him, and Nathan confronts David. Our sin will come out. It can't be hidden from God. But the second thing I think we can learn from this passage is from Nathan. Nathan actually, as another follower of the Lord, hears about this sin and he goes to his brother and he calls him out and he asks him about it. You see, for many of us, if we see those around us who are walking in sin or who are living in sin, it is our responsibility as their brother to go to them and to ask them to get them to confess and to work with them through repenting from that sin. That is our responsibility. And Nathan shows a great example of this in our reading passage today. 2 Samuel 12, verses 1 through 14. I hope you really enjoy it. There's a lot of great stuff in this passage, and I hope you have a great Tuesday. Know that we're praying for you.